Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Monday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 5 of the Western Conference first round, and the Denver Nuggets are leading the series over the Portland Trailblazers 3-1. So if we win today's episode in Denver, we are going to knock out the Portland Trailblazers. We'll send the Blazers home, and we will advance to the next round of NBA playoffs. And we'll probably face off the LA Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, or the LA Clippers. And I'm really excited if the Nuggets make the finals, because our opponent will probably be the New York Knicks. So without a further ado, we will show you the uniforms. We'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, so the Portland Trailblazers are going to be wearing their black icon uniforms on the road in Denver. Meanwhile, for the Denver Nuggets, they're going to be wearing their Mile High City statement uniforms at home. So without a further ado, we will see you guys at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here in Game 5 of the NBA Western Conference first round, and the Portland Trailblazers have won tip-off. Damian Lillard, the Oakland, California native, going to pass it over to Jusuf Nurkic, making a two-pointer there. So now making that dunk, and Lillard picked up the assist. So now Nikola Jokic makes a three happen for the Denver Nuggets. So in the first episode, he had scored 62 points. So Damian Lillard picking up that basketball, and it looks like Lillard loses it, picks it up. Don't know where he's going to pass it over to Joe Ingles. And Nurkic gets it in the paint there. So it's now going to be a 4-3 Portland lead. So now Aaron Gordon, the former Orlando Magic player, gets it in from mid-range. So it's now 5-4 here in Denver. So now Damian Lillard, where is he going to take the direction of the basketball to? And it looks like he is going to lose the basketball. We're going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. So Jokic making that slam dunk in the paint. It is now 7-4 here in Denver. So now Damian Lillard passing it over to Jusuf Nurkic. He makes another dunk, Nurkic, and it's now 7-6. We're going to pass it over to Jeff Green. Makes that slam in the paint. So it's now 9-6. Check out this nice slam cam here. He is in the hoop there. So now Justice Winslow going to pass it over to Joe Ingles. Misses that, but Nikola Jokic picking up that rebound for the Nuggets, and he makes another three fly. And it's now 12-6 here in Denver. So they're going to pass it over to Jusuf Nurkic. Gets it in. And it's now 12-8. So now we're going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. And Jokic just gets a layup in there. So it's now 14-8. Nikola Jokic has 10 points. So he's the scoring leader for Denver right now. Eric Bledsoe going to pass it over to Jusuf Nurkic. He's going to pass it over to Lillard, and then Drew Bledsoe going to pass it over to Lillard. And now Damian Lillard going to pass it over to Eric Bledsoe, going to pass it over to Jusuf Nurkic. And there's 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He made it in pretty safely. So he has scored all 10 of the points. So Jokic, there's a foul on Jusuf Nurkic. So it's now going to be 16-10. But we're going to go in the paint. So he will make this one in for 1 extra point. So it's now going to be 17-10. We're going to take a break. Alright, so it's now 37.1 seconds to go. We're going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. So now Jokic getting this one in. So we're now leading this one by half. So it's now 24-12. Anthony Simons losing the basketball, and it goes out of bounds. Portland has possession of it, and it's now Josh Hart going to pass it over to Anthony Simons. So now Anthony Simons losing the basketball. Nashon Highland going to pass it over to Monte Morris. So Highland will pick up the assist. And there is no shot clock to end the first quarter here in Denver. So now Jokic is picking up a steal. Is he going to make a three from behind the arc? Yes, he will. And it's now 29-12. So Anfernee Simons losing the basketball. Then he picks it back up. Misses that three. Buzzer beater hits 0. End of first quarter. All right, it is now 29-12. We're going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. And Denver has 9 fast break points and 7 points off of turnovers. So now they're going to use some Josh Hart and then some Anfernee Simons, losing that basketball. Going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. So now Jokic gets this one in for 2. So it's now 31-12 here in Denver. And now Anfernee Simons has possession. Maybe he picked up the basketball, so he's going to pass it over to Josh Hart and then dunks that in. So it's now 31-14. So we're going to pass it over to Bryn Forbes and then the Serbian Nikola Jokic getting that one in. So it's now 33-14. Hot start today for him, 27, and he's 11 for 11 in field goals. So that is really, really good. And he has the probability of possibly making 70 points. Denver is taking a timeout. We're going to take a break. All right, and Damian Lillard going to pass it over to Joe Ingles, and then Lillard going to drill a 3 from behind the arc. So the break is over. So now we're going to pass it off to Nikola Jokic. So now he was at 49% energy, but I decided to take him for a little break. So he has 29 points, Jokic. So now Eric Bledsoe losing the basketball. He's going to pick it back up for the Trailblazers. So he gets that layup in the paint. So we're going to pass it over to Nikola Jokic. So now Jokic, he is probably going to make that 3 fly from behind the arc. He gets it in there. So it's now 48-28. Jokic with 32 points today, and he is 5 for 5 from behind the arc. So he can do pretty well from behind the arc. And now Jokic going to make that slam dunk for the team's 50th point. And we are up by 22 here in Denver. So now Damian Lillard has possession of the basketball. And Lillard going to make that fly. He doesn't get it in, so it ends up going out of bounds. So it's 34.7 seconds to go. 50-28 is the score right now. So we're going to pass it over to Jeff Green. And Jeff Green makes that dunk happen. So it's now 52-28. And Denver is up by 24 at home. So now Anfernee Simons is going to pass it over to Josh Hart. So Anfernee Simons picks up the assist there. So now Portland has 30 points. And now we're going to try to make a 3 fly with Jeff Green to end the first half. He gets it in. So it's now 16.1 seconds to go. And it is Winslow that has possession of the basketball. Justice Winslow. And he's going to dribble it. Going to pass it over to Anfernee Simons. There's 2.3 seconds to go. And we're going to pass it over to Jokic. And he's going to make one last point before the first half ends. We are up by 24. Denver 57, Portland 33. So that is the halftime score here at the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. All right, Nikola Jokic with 36 first half points. He's going to pass it over to Jokic, and then Austin Rivers, the son of Doc Rivers, who is currently the head coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. He was with the Clippers the last few years, and Lillard is going to drop a 3 from behind the arc. And I think he did it from the logo this time, so now it is JaMychal Green, number 0, gets this one in. So it's now 62-36. JaMychal Green with 2 points already, and Damian Lillard Gonna pass it over to Winslow, gets it in there, so it's now 62-36. And they're gonna pass it over to Jeff Green, and it's now gonna be 64-38. Portland was 77% in field goals, while Denver has 100. Joe Ingles is gonna make that three fly for Portland, and Bledsoe ends up getting the assist. And we're going to just pass it around here. We're going to pass it over to Jokic and gets this one in. So it's now 66-41. And it's now Damian Lillard with the basketball. And he loses it. So Portland still has possession no matter what happens. So they're giving Portland possession of the basketball. They're going to pass it over to Eric Bledsoe. So now Eric Bledsoe and the Portland Trailblazers take a timeout. Alright, so it's now 72-49. Denver's up by 23. And I'm going to pass around. I'm going to pass it over to Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon gets that in. So it's now 74-51. And Anthony Simons has possession. Not anymore. Aaron Gordon made that steal. He's going to make that dunk happen. So it's now going to be 76-51. And they're going to pass it off to Ben McLemore. So now Ben McLemore going to pass it over to Josh Hart. McLemore going to pick up that assist. And it's now 76-54. We're going to pass it over to DeMarcus Cousins, gets that in there, so it's now 78-54. Anthony Simons with the possession of the basketball, picks it back up, and he is going to get that layup in the paint, so it's now 78-56. And I'm going to pass it over to DeMarcus Cousins, and then Niazi, and then Aaron Gordon. Going to try to make a three for him. And we actually do. It's now going to be 81-56. So we're up by 25 points. And we are 4 minutes away. We are only 17 seconds away from making it to the fourth quarter. So we're going to pass it over to Aaron Gordon. So now Aaron Gordon makes a slam. And it's now 83-59, 11.4 seconds to go. They're going to pass it over to Anthony Simons. And it looks like Aaron Gordon is going to make a steal. We're going to make a three fly from behind the arc. He gets it in. And it's now 86-59. They're going to pass it over to Ben McLemore. And I don't think they're going to get this in to end the third quarter. They do not. So we're up by 27. Denver 86, Portland 59. All right, your State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. Nikola Jokic, he played really good today, and I'll explain the numbers after the game. But now Portland has possession to begin the fourth, and Anthony Simons has possession of the basketball, and he loses it, but then he picks it back up. So Anthony Simons gonna drill a three like his teammate Damian Lillard, and it's now gonna be a 24-point lead. Gonna pass it over to Aaron Gordon. So now Aaron Gordon with the slam. It's now 88-62. And Anthony Simons has possession of the basketball. He's gonna pass it over to Watford. So now he's going to go in the paint, make a layup. Oh, he misses that. But Aaron Gordon is the hero. Going to pass it over to Niazi. And then we're going to pass it over to Nah'Shon Hyland. Going to use some Bryn Forbes. So I'm thinking he might make a two there. And he evidently does. Thought it was a three, but his feet were in between the behind the arc and in mid-range. So evidently Bryn Forbes makes the steal. And he's going to make a dunk on top of Ben McLemore. So this is the AT&T slam cam. And now Anthony Simons going to pass it over to Johnson. Johnson makes that three happen. So it's now 92-65. So it's now going to be 94-65. All right, so it's now going to be it's now 97-65. So now Nikola Jokic going to make a three, and he will score the team's 100th point of the game. So there's less than 2 minutes to go, and they had now just scored 100 points. So Lillard is going to pick up a three since his teammate drilled it from behind the arc. So now it is now Michael Porter Jr. going to make a layup in the paint there. He drives it in 102-68. So now Johnson with the possession. He's going to do that nice spin move once added. Going to pass it over to Joe Ingles. He makes that three fly, and it's now going to be 102-71. We're going to pass it all around to Jeff Green. So now Jeff Green's going to make a monster slam in the paint, and it's now 104-71. And it's now 90 seconds to be exact, and Damian Lillard's going to pass it over to Watford, and Brown making that three. He misses it, and Jokic has possession, and Jokic is going to make a three. I think this could be his final one of the game, but it's 107-71, so they're going to pass it over to Johnson. And we have picked it up. Going to pass it over to Jokic from the other side of the court. And it's now 109-71. Nikola Jokic with 45 points and Damian Lillard with 17. Both scoring leaders for both teams today. And now Lillard losing the basketball. Going to pass it back to Lillard. So Lillard gets it in. It's now 109-74. So Jokic dunks it in. It's now 111-74. So the Nuggets are winning this game at home. So they end up sending the Portland Trailblazers home, and we will advance on to the next round of playoffs. So it's now 114-74. And Johnson going to pass it over to Watford, and then back to Johnson. And then Watford going to pass it over to Damian Lillard, going to pass it over to Johnson, makes a three, and we are going to take our final timeout of the game. Nikola Jokic is your player of the game. I don't know why they're showing the black screen there, but evidently Jokic is your player of the game, and now it has came to the final conclusion of the Western Conference first round, 116-77. I am going to go over the numbers here in just a minute. So Lillard losing the basketball. Going to pass it over to Jokic making that slam. It's now 118-77. If we score 2 more points, then we'll be at the 120 mark. We have never scored 130 points in our 2K22 Road to the NBA Finals series, and I have been enjoying this pretty much from episode 1. So now Lillard from series 1 of the Lakers, and Lillard, he's going to make this one, actually dribble that one, and it is going back court, and we have won it. We will advance on to the second round of the NBA playoffs for our Denver Nuggets franchise road to the NBA Finals series. Final score 118-79. Denver wins it 4-1 in the series. We have sent the Portland Trailblazers home, and we will advance on to the second round. Portland will not advance because they had lost 4 games and only had won 1. So it was a 5-game series all in all, but we ended up winning. Nikola Jokic, 52 points and 11 minutes played today. He is your 5-star player of the game. All right, Nikola Jokic, 52 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals on the day, 5 dunks for him, 7 threes from behind the arc. Aaron Gordon, 20 points, 1 rebound, 2 steals on the day, 3 dunks. Jeff Green, 13 points, 1 assist for him today and 3 dunks. Michael Porter Jr., 11 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, and he had 1 dunk on the day. Bryn Forbes had 7 points, 4 assists, 1 steal on the day, and had a dunk. So Damian Lillard, 20 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, 6 for 7 from behind the arc, and he did not have any dunks. Josh Hart had 12 points, 1 dunk on the day, 2 assists for him. Yusuf Nurkic had 10 points and 2 dunks. He was the leading scorer at the first quarter. But evidently it was Damian Lillard that had became the scoring leader for Portland. Anthony Simons, 8 points, 3 assists on the day. Eric Bledsoe, 6 points in all, 1 assist for him, and this wraps it up. We will see you guys in the second round of Denver Nuggets basketball action, and I am excited to see them play in the NBA Finals against the New York Knicks. Have a great Monday afternoon, everybody.